Mrs. Daly from the Smithtown Library, and today I'm going to instruct you in the art of book folding. Book folding is the making and folding of the pages of a book to make a design on the front of the pages. And I'm going to give you an example and show you. This is the first project that I have completed while at home, just by watching videos on YouTube, which is what you're doing right now. So there's just a couple of basic items that you'll need, one of which is a ruler, a standard ruler that has centimeters and millimeters. That's important. A pencil with a good sharp point. An eraser is helpful. A book which you will learn how to select what size book you'll need based on the pattern that you do, which we'll get to that. Also, something to put down the fold to make it nice and smooth. There are items that are specific for that, but you can use just the back of a spoon or your finger, your nail. A piece of elastic. I didn't have elastic, but this will do just fine. It's a headband. And that's just basically to hold down the pages of the book as you're working. A piece of Post-it note or a scrap paper just to hold your spot as you're working. All right, so basic supplies. The most important thing is you're going to choose a pattern. The pattern I'm going to be working on today and instructing you on is a paw print. You get patterns just by Googling, searching on the internet. There are a myriad of patterns that you can get. I chose the paw print. As you see, I chose Faith for my first one. When you get your pattern, it tells you number of pages and all the information that you need to get started and to be successful. And I'm going to go over that with you in just a moment. In order to begin, what we need to do is look at our pattern. The paw print book folding pattern requires a book that has at least 336 numbered pages. We will be making a total of 168 folds in the book. So the book can have more than 336, but it has to have at least 336. And then it also has to have a height of 22 centimeters. So the height, we judge that on the outside of the book. We just take our ruler and measure to make sure that it's at least 22 centimeters. This one is 24, so it's perfect. A little bigger is fine, but as long as it's at least 22. This particular book that I chose has 390 numbered pages. So we just do a little basic math to determine our start page for our folds. And the way we do that, we have 390 pages. That's how many pages we have in the book. We require 336. We do a little subtraction. We get 54 pages. And then we want to divide it by 2 so that we have an even amount of pages at the beginning of the pattern and at the end of the pattern. And that determines our start page, which is 27. Going to open to page 27 in our book. 25, 26, 27, and perfect. It starts on this side. If 27 had been on this side, you would just flip over to the side here. All right, so I'm going to put aside our picture of our pattern and take a look at the actual pattern that shows the number of folds and where you are going to measure and mark your pages. So for our very first fold, which is on page 27, we determined we are going to take our ruler, put the 0 at the very top of the page, line it up nice and straight. Our first fold is going to be at 11.0 centimeters. And that's right there. And then our second fold is 12.7 centimeters. So there's 12. That line would make it 12.5, 6, 7, and you make a little line right there. And very important, don't lift your ruler off that page until you go to your pattern and put a little check mark next to the measurements you just did so that you don't wonder, did I do them or not? Especially if a phone rings or something distracts you. All right, so now this is where our headband or elastic, if you had it, comes in. We're going to take it and put it on the book, on these pages here, holding down the pages that are prior to where we're starting our pattern. And now that we've already marked that, we're going to take that and stick it in there as well. And we're going to go on to fold number 2. And we need to measure and mark. Again, making sure the zero is at the top of the page. Go down to 10.6, which is right there. And the next one is 13.0, which is right there. Just put a little line on the page. Try not to get it to go down onto the side, because you want your side to be nice and clean, because that's where the pattern's going to be. And again, before you lift your ruler, you mark off that you measured 10.6 and 13.0. Put your ruler aside, put that in there. Go on to fold number 3. Again, lining up your 0 at the top of the page. 10.3 is your first measure and mark. And 13.3 is the next one. 1, 2, 3. And it's always good to have a pencil eraser, because sometimes you just, those little millimeters there are very challenging to get 100% accurate, so do your very best. So again, that's 13.3, 1, 2, 3, and that's right there. And I'm going to tick those off that I did them. That's the third fold. We'll do 2 more and then we will actually fold them, so you see how that works. Okay, fold number 4, 10.0. We always like when it's even like that. I'm going to have a little mark here, and it's not exactly where it should be, so erasing is fine. No one's going to see that. That's on the inside of the page, so if you need to erase, it's absolutely fine. 10.0 right there. 13.4. 13, 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Okay, check off that we did them and turn the page. Okay, we're up to fold number 5. 9.8. Right there. And then 13.6. And again, I just need to erase that a little bit so that I can get exactly to 13.5, 6 right there. Mark those off. Okay, now I'm going to put this ruler aside. We're going to go back a little bit to the very first page, which was 27. Put this back on. And now I'm going to show you how to actually fold. And this is very important. You're going to take your ruler. You want to put, for the top fold, so there's a top fold and there's a bottom fold. You want to put your ruler in the corner of the spine. And then this, you want to line it up exactly with your first mark. I'm going to try to zoom this in. Let's see if we can do that so that you can see. I'm not quite sure. Let me lift it up to you. So you see where that mark is, that fold, that measured mark that we drew. You need to make sure that your ruler goes here and right to that mark. Then you take the page and you fold it down over your ruler. Score it, remove the ruler, and now you can take your finger. You can do it just with your hand, which is honestly how I did the majority of mine. If you don't want to put that stress on your hand, on your tendons and all that, you can use the back of a spoon and just make it nice and flat. That's your very first fold. Now we need to do this bottom one. We put the ruler this way. Again, it needs to hit the spine back here, see? And then you line up the ruler to that next mark, and you take the paper. Be sure to only be taking the one page and fold it up. Move your ruler so that you can take your time, make that, especially right at the folds there, you want it nice and neat. And there we just did our first fold. Look at that. There you go. Stick it inside your elastic, your headband, so that it holds it down. And let's go on to fold number 2. Again, your ruler needs to be in the spine. You find your first mark, you line up the ruler with the edge. You take the top of your page and you fold it down over your ruler. Remove the ruler, make that mark nice and smooth, that paper, so it's nice and crisp. Take your ruler now for the next, your bottom fold measurement. Put the ruler here in the corner of your spine, line it up here with your mark, and this gets folded up onto the ruler. Remove the ruler so that you can get a nice crisp, strong fold. There we go, fold number 2. We'll do a couple, then I will work on this book myself. I will tune in once or twice and show you how it's progressing and show you how you finish and how you know. There we go, again, whoop. Now, it's easy if you don't get it exactly where it should be, you just go and refold. I didn't quite get the exact spot of the mark, so I'm just redoing it so that's nice and crisp. Go over that fold so it stays down. Again, you put your ruler in the spine. You come back to your second mark where we measured. Fold the page up onto the ruler, remove the ruler, make sure that point is nice and straight and smooth. That's number 3. 2 more. All right, again, ruler in the spine, lined up with your first little mark on the page, fold it over. Make your fold nice and crisp. There we go. Down here, ruler in the spine, make sure that page stays down there. Line it up with this mark, fold it up. Nice and crisp. There we go. One more. Ruler in the spine, find your first mark, fold this over, there we go. Make sure there's only one page. Sometimes your pages feel you grab it and it's 2, so you want to make sure you only have 1. Fold it up onto your ruler, move the ruler so you can make that nice and crisp. And we have done our first 5 folds. I'll show you. There you go. All right, so we're going to continue working on this. That's 5 folds down from 336, only 331 more to go. So I continued to work on my pattern all the way through to the very last fold, 168, marking and folding, and this is what the pattern now looks like. Once you've completed your pattern, you want to just allow your book to lay like this overnight so that the spine gets to rest and the folds get to settle. And then after you've done that overnight, you're ready to display your book. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad that you did. Can't wait to see you in our buildings, hopefully soon. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and continue to check our website at www.smithlib.org. We're going to continue to post programs and information and news for you to use at home. Be well. Thank you.